Milky Way, baklava, Mars bars, Zots, bazooka, nickel nips, fun dips, taffy dots, licorice, red hots, jawbreakers, paydays, Necco wafers, wax lips, candy cigarettes, candy corn, chocolate coins, chocolate eggs, Peeps, Marzipan, jelly beans, cotton candy, circus peanuts, almond joy, peppermint patty, Three Musketeers, Mounds, Snickers, Dagwoods,
Chunky,
Chico sticks, pixie sticks, Tootsie Rolls, Jawbreakers, Lollipops, Pez, Gobstoppers, Kit Kat. Anybody want to add more? So what that set the stage for? That set the stage for self-medicating drugs, OTC drugs, alcohol, animals and animal products, empty calories, cooked food, cigarettes and prescription drugs, alarm clocks, all the sights, smells, sounds, and influences of a city, just plain undertraining, underactive, overeating, refined foods, fluorescent lighting, sunburn, lack of sun, sunburn in the summer, lack of sun in the winter, watching murder, rape, stabbing, fire, and violence on the 11 o'clock news and then going to sleep on it.
Never mind that. TV shows that are based on that.
Just television itself. Oh, and how about fear? Fear of the end of the world, fear of disease, fear of the next pandemic, fear of whatever. You're here to wipe the slate clean. You're here to get a fresh start, to return to pristine health. You're here to overcome illnesses and conditions. I understand that, but you also want to get as pristine health as you can possibly get. I find it funny that if you read a death certificate, it never tells you the cause of death. It names the disease the person has, or the imaginary one that they want you to think he had. But they don't say, well, this guy's lungs gave out with emphysema, cause of death is emphysema. They never ever bother saying cause of death of smoking cigarettes. They never say, oh, the guy's heart, his heart stopped. Cause of death must have been overeating. I'm not blaming obesity. I saw many photos in the last 2 years of perfectly healthy people coming down with COVID. But they weighed like 250, 300 pounds. They weren't perfectly healthy.
They were eating a high-fat diet.
And a high food diet, high fat, high food. A lot of people say to me, yeah, but my grandpa did da-da-da-da-da and he lived to 98. And I'm going, yeah, but your grandpa didn't have anything on the list we just named. None of it existed.
worked 14 days, 14 hours a day on a farm,
Ate every meal at home.
organic.
All there was organic. Up until Second World War, that's the only kind of food there was. So he's raised on an all-organic diet, eating at home, no restaurants, no fast food. That didn't come about until the 50s. Who?
Go to bed at dark.
Go to bed at dark, got enough sleep, didn't have electric alarm clocks because, hadn't invented them yet.
The right DNA, so you never know.
I'm sorry?
Some people just have the right DNA to persevere.
We all have the right.
Everybody has the right DNA.
Yeah,
Well, not to trigger anything like cancer.
that's bullshit, Israel.
Cancer.
I can't tell.
We all have-
92.
Come on, we all have genetic
Potato guy, bread, everything.
we all have genetic predisposition,
That's what I'm saying.
but we're all made to live long. We're all made to live healthfully. That's the default condition. only if we abuse ourselves again and again and again. And this is why I talked about Dr. Pottinger, and this is why I talked about reducing fertility rates. The last generation, not what you would call this generation of kids, but the generation before that, they're mostly teens. That's the first generation of humans born in history that weren't automatically always healthier than their parents. You could have two diabetics, two deaf diabetics having kids 30, 40 years ago. They had normal, healthy kids. But that generation of kids, overall, although there's plenty of healthy kids, right? But that generation, overall, was the first generation in history not automatically expected to be healthier than their parents. The generation being born now, 10 and under, this is the first generation in the history of humanity that is not expected to outlive their parents. This is the first time ever that we're expecting the kids to die before the parents die.
Wow.
And that's sad. That's bad for the parents. It's bad for the kids.
Yeah.
Speaks poorly of our lifestyles.
My ex had a master's in genetic counseling, and she was on the team that discovered the gene for primary lymphedema. She looked at thousands of people and tens of thousands of blood samples and went to Paris to present the paper, and she said, yeah, lifestyle is at least 90%, genetics is max 10%.
I know a lady in one of the churches I got to visit that she's in her upper 80s, maybe 90s. She had 5 children, and when I met her about 3 years back, she had just lost her 5th. They had all died before she did.
Wow.
Much younger. I mean, she's not only at an older age, but they all died while she was still living. So they never even made it to her age.
Yeah, and we're going to see more of that, unfortunately. People are taking bad care of themselves and expecting it to all come out just fine. And it ain't going to work that way. It can't work that way. So when you go back to your room today and you start thinking, why am I fasting? I hope you're thinking like, I want to wipe the slate clean. I want to get to pristine health. I want to get as much done on this job as I can. I don't want to really come back and do this again next year. I want to live like I don't intend to fast again, and I want to get the most out of this experience of the fast itself. We don't want to have regrets. Buyer's regret in fasting is a very common thing, where people break their fast after they've convinced themselves they can't go anymore. Doc, I just can't go anymore. Okay, well, then you've reached the end. If you just can't go anymore, can you go one more day? No, I can't go anymore. Okay. And then they'll eat for 2 or 3 days and go, I could have gone more. I wish I had, because now, it was pretty cool what was going on.